You guys asked for it, so I'm making a video about it. How do you start a team? In our game dev journey, we all kind of start solo. It kind of sets us up with bad habits like making sure no one sees our project and we don't let anybody get involved with our project. And like I said, this is terrible for creativity and the sharing of ideas, which is crucial for success. Pretty clear that when we look at success, the people who are part of teams find it much sooner. I'm not talking about Stardew Valley or Axiom Verge or all the other amazing solo devs who are killing it out there, but those are very rare. It's far more common to be a part of a team that is killing. Like Team Cherry, I'm looking at a list over here. Team Cherry is a team of 3. The people who made Celeste is a team of 2, probably more now. The people who made Dead Cells have 8 on their team. These people have made amazing games, and they're all part of great teams. And that's what we're talking about today. How do you create a team, and where do you find people to create that team? This applies to people who are both looking for teams and people who are part of teams who are looking for people outside to bring onto them. The process for finding people can be kind of tricky, and I really recommend making sure you're prepared for bringing someone onto your team. So the actual last step of this is where we actually talk about finding people, but the first 4 steps are preparing for that. Here are the 5 steps for finding people. Let's get into it. First question you have to ask yourself is, why am I even looking for someone? Am I not already amazing enough and I can do this all by myself? You are amazing, but you don't have to do it all by yourself. Why are you looking for someone? Is it because you are lacking in an area? I know for me, I can't do art, sure can't do music. So, like I mentioned in a previous video, I could spend years building that, but I could just go find someone to fill that spot where I lack, and we could build something better together because of that. And that's a very good point to look for someone. And 90% of the people who are looking for people, it's probably because of that. And that's good. At least you know that. For others, it might be more of like, hey, I'm almost finished with my game and I need to get over this hump here. I need a bunch of play testers to come in and test my game and try to break it. That's another thing you need to ask yourself. Is this just for a little time period, or am I going to need them for longer? These are questions that you should probably start to ask yourself before looking for someone, because the people are going to want to know. And, you need to know before getting into it, obviously. I know for myself, for a long time, I was actually kind of looking for a mentor figure, someone that I could just ask questions to and pick my brain, because the game dev journey can be quite lonely. Differentiating between, is this someone that I just want to ask questions to, or is this someone who I want to come alongside me in this game dev project and help me build something? Because those, for me, were kind of it was kind of hard to see which one was which in my own journey. Just be careful when you're looking for that. After you've figured out why you're looking for someone, you need to figure out who you're looking for, or what type of person you're looking for. Because it is very, very important. This might be the second most important thing in my brain on this list about building a team, is you need to be able to work with this person. And that can be really tough because we're all humans, we all have flaws, and it's important to understand your own flaws and how you interact with other people. So being ready to look yourself in the mirror at your own personality is crucial for looking for other people, because you're going to need to know how you interact with other people. So if you're super detail oriented and you have someone who is super laid back coming onto the team, there might be some strife. And there's always going to be some strife between personalities. But understanding who you work best with is crucial before getting into a long-term commitment with someone. And that kind of leads to my next point. Figure out what kind of time period you're looking at. People are going to want to know that. They're going to want to know, hey, is this going to be just a jam thing? Is this going to be a long-term thing? It might even be something that you don't know yet. And that's absolutely, again, something that you're going to want to communicate with these people. And I know that sometimes jam games can lead into something more. Be like, hey, we really worked well on this, and I could see us working well on other projects. And that might happen. And that's fantastic. That's actually kind of the best way to figure out who you're working well with. But once you get over that jam, having the discussion about, hey, what about what's next? Would you want to work on something more? And also, I just want to mention, when you're looking for the who you're looking for, what type of experience do they have? Do they have years of experience? experience? Do they have a little bit of experience? These are kind of things that you might want to ask yourself about who you're looking for. Because someone who has 10 years experience of something, they might want to be paid. And we're going to get into that a little bit. Just be ready for those questions to come up. The next thing on my list in being prepared for a team, be ready with what you have. What the heck does that mean, Matthew? Well, I'll tell you what it means. Get your portfolio ready. And you might be like, Matthew, I don't got a portfolio. That's okay. You gotta have something. We all have ideas. We all have dreams. What are your dreams? What are your ideas? What's the little picture you drew on the desk at your school? You know, come with those things and be ready to share them, because people want to know what you're passionate about, especially someone that you might work with. And when sharing your stuff, if there is other people on your team, you're probably going to want to share them as well. Be like, hey, these are the other people that are on my team. I would like to show you them and tell you about them. And here's what they can do. It's probably a good time to do that as well. But being prepared for what you can bring to the table is crucial. When we were talking with Colby, he was very upfront about the projects he was working on, and we were upfront about the projects we were working on. And there has to be some flexibility in that. But you also have to be super honest with each other as well. If you tell people that, yo, I got so much experience and I can do this, that, and the other thing, and I'm like amazing, and then they figure out that you can't do certain things that you said you could do, it's going to get awkward real quick. And you don't want that, because no one likes awkwardness. At least I don't. And then you don't want them to be dishonest with you either. So just be super honest with them, and, you know, obviously ask them to be honest with you, because the last thing anybody wants is to be blindsided by too much expectation. Be honest out there with what you can do. My next tip, or whatever you want to call this video, is have a plan. What? Isn't this part of the plan? Yes, it is, but no, have a real plan. What are the next immediate steps after this conversation that you're talking with these people? Is it just like a meeting with the rest of your team? Is it like, hey, if we get together, I want to do a deep dive in your art, and I want to do some art projects together? Or maybe in the case with, you know, when we were looking for people, and the first thing we wanted to do was, hey, let's just do like a quick jam game together. And that proved to be really good for us, because it just kind of gets those gears turning, and you see how people work really well, and it's super low stakes, you know, no one's super uptight about a game jam game, obviously. And this is also a good time to talk about payment, you know. When you're speaking with people, you should be ready with what you are expecting to pay or not pay. A lot of people go by hour, and other people go by rev share. And you got to figure out what you want to do. Is this just this could also just be a hobby project, you know? Lots of people do this as a hobby project, and that's okay. You just got to be prepared with what you are expecting, and setting those expectations. I can't talk. I'm having a hard time. But I want to put this out there. You got to be really careful when it comes to this part about having a plan, because when you get to this part, you're like, oh, like we've already like got this guy and he's on the team. You just gotta be really careful when you get to this point, because you can start to get ahead of yourself and like maybe settle for maybe less, or make a decision too quickly. You just gotta be really careful about it, because you don't want to get into something too deep with someone you can't trust. I know when I put out the applications for the programmer we were looking for, I probably got like 50 messages, all from people who were like, hey, like I want to join you and it's going to be great and we're going to make $1 million, yada, yada, yada. I was like, wow, at first I was like, this is amazing. It's so easy to find people. I can't believe how amazing this is and how easy it is. But then when I really started to like talk to them, I was like, yo, I don't want them on my team. And so just be careful when you're talking to people. All right, number 5, the reason you're all here, where can I find people? Where can I find people? I'll tell you where you can find people. You can find people on Discord. You can find people on Itch. You can find people on Reddit. You can find people on Facebook. And you can find people on LinkedIn. Easy as that. No, but legit what I just said. All those places I just mentioned, perfect for finding people. Let's get into it though. Okay, on Discord is like, I feel like the hub for game devs. There are so many communities on there. There's literally countless. If there's a game dev channel, there's probably a Discord, and in that Discord, there's probably a let's work together tab. So know that. Go find a game dev YouTuber, go in their Discord, and there's probably a Join My Project tab. You want to get really practical. Here's a few. There's I have a list right here. That's why I'm looking over here. There's the BlackThornProd Discord. It's a great Discord. It's a very active community, and there's a great tab of collaboration. There's also the Brackeys. There is the Indie Game League, and there is the IGDA, which stands for Indie Game Dev Association. It's kind of a tongue twister, but they all have fantastic places to look for people. The link is going to be below. A lot of them have like applications that you can fill out with templates and stuff like that, and it's perfect. But if you are in itch, there's a browse tab up in the right hand corner. Find that browse tab. There's a job tab within that. Super nice to find people. Reddit has another great, they actually have a few different servers. I don't know what you really call them on Reddit. Subreddits, I guess. There's the game dev subreddit, and there's the indie game subreddit. People are asking questions on there all the time, finding people. So go on there. You can even use a template from Discord, post it on Reddit. This is what you got. People will respond, no doubt. Facebook has a few places to find people. It's kind of surprising, but a lot of game devs are on Facebook. There's a ton of communities. Just go in the search tab and look up game dev communities. But the specific one I want to mention here is the indie game dev. It's super active, and people are looking for work on there. Take your Discord template, throw it on Facebook. Rest is history. I also put LinkedIn on here. LinkedIn is a great place to just look for jobs if you're looking for a paid job. So I have it on here if you're looking for that, because LinkedIn is great. So those are all the places that I have for actually finding people. All of those ones that I mentioned are super active. Like I mentioned, Discord has so many places to look for people. So just go on Discord. If you can think of a game dev YouTuber, they probably have a Discord, and there's probably a collab tab. We don't have a Discord yet, but when we do have a Discord, there's going to be a collab tab. So, collab tab. That sounds cool. I might use it later. But go to Discord, whichever one of those I mentioned, and just go look for people. They're going to be there. I'll have all of them in the description below. So just go look. Those are my 5 tips, 5 pieces of advice, 5 whatever you want to call it. But those are the things that I use to look for my people. I used those things to find the people that I have. I use them to find 3 different members, and I still work with a lot of them. When you start working with a team, the potential output of goodness goes up 1,000%. Not only in game dev, really. When you have people to share the load, everything becomes easier. Suddenly, if you have a programmer who can just write code super easily, suddenly there's options to maybe sell or put some of those in a package on Patreon. And same with art. If you can't do art or music, but someone can just do it super naturally and just comes second nature, and they can just whip up stuff, maybe you can, again, put that in a Patreon package and support yourself in so many new ways that you never expected. That's what I've experienced so far. And honestly, I wish I would have thought of it sooner. There are literally millions and millions and millions of game devs out there. And if you think for a moment that you can't find someone to join you, forget about it. Don't think that, because there is someone out there who would love to work with you. You just gotta look for them. And like I said, there is a requirement of being flexible. And for some of you, I understand that might be a deal breaker. But understand that there is so much potential when you work with a team that you might be giving up on. I hope you guys liked this video. A lot of people were asking for it, and I enjoyed making it. Next week, we might talk about money. I don't know. I kind of want to talk about money, which is gross when you talk about game dev. It's kind of a part of it sometimes, so stay tuned. But let me know if you're part of a team, or let me know if you're solo dev and you want to stay solo. Leave a comment below, and while you're at it, just hit that subscribe button and the like button, because it helps me out a bunch. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, keep on deving and keep chasing that dream, and I will see you next time.